That's right.
It is off. Alright, now I can take the trailer back at least, and for the next job that I'll do tomorrow, I'm going to put it on this. I'll jack it up and I can wheel it with this trolley. Yeah, that's the worst part. Yeah, actually I might give you a quick look at it. Okay, so the seat was taken out and the hydraulic control unit was removed, and they had servos in there, and as you can see there, all your hoses are disconnected, so it'll be a bit of a job putting all them back together. But the good thing with this machine is it's practically brand new. The engine still had the paper tag on it where you put the oil and stuff when I got it. And if you look here, I don't know if you can see it, probably can't, but it says 420 hours on the hour meter. And the bucket's rusty because it was sitting, it had water in it, but it's still got all the paint on it. Tracks are great. So I'll have to make a new deck and a new mount for the seat. I've got a seat with it, and this will get pissed off. This was all the setup for the servos and shit like that, and it's got a dual battery system in it. I'm pretty sure it would have only had one battery originally, so that'll get removed, and yeah, it'll be great up the farm. Okay, yeah, these are all the servo connectors. They'll get removed as well. And hang on a sec, I'll just show you the control unit that came with it. This jobby here, it's all brand new. So you've got your track controls and your bucket. That's for the blade on the front, and that one is another valve that I think it switches over from the boom to using the trenching option. So $2.5 grand, mate, for that excavator. I think I've got a good bargain there, and we'll get this going and you'll see it working up the farm shortly. Alright, back in a minute. Oh yeah, I just need to put this up onto a pallet, and then I can wheel it in. I'll show you that on the video too. Alright, I scored this pallet jack for free on Gumtree. All it needed was re-bleeding. The guy said, oh, it was a bit slow going down, but it worked. So it was easy enough to bleed. You just pump it up and hold the handle down, and works great. So when I've finished using it on this, I'll piss it off. Huh? Oh, it'll swing in on the side, but I'll just get it up there a bit. Something. You got it for a sec? Woohoo! Done. Thanks, babe.
No worries.
So far I've spent about $1,600 on hydraulic parts, and with that money I got 2 hoses and probably about a shoebox full of various fittings. Now I've come up against a problem. I've got to sort it out, but I think I can fix it. I'll just show you this. It's if I don't drop the bastard. Okay, so this is what's known as a swivel joint, and what it does is that all your hydraulic hoses in the lower deck come up through the deck and they connect to the hoses up here, and because the whole machine rotates, you can't have them joined together because all the hoses would bloody tear off. So what they've done, they've come up with this thing, and it's been modified by the previous owner, and I have to sort the problem out. So the first thing I've got to sort out is on this, these actual fittings. What I found is when I took them off, I'll take one off here, they're held on really tight with thread tape. But if you look at the end of that fitting there, it's not a JIC, it's actually a Komatsu fitting, and the angle's different. Now I'm going to be making up some hydraulic hoses, and you can't get the Komatsu fittings in a field fitting. So what I did is I got the hydraulic place to get me some of these ones, and they're JIC and BSP taper on the ends, so they'll screw right into the port. Well, that's the plan, and they'll screw in like that with some thread tape on there, or thread sealant, and that way if I blow a hose I can fix it in the field with my field fittings. Now the problem with this swivel joint, what would normally be is on the bottom you'd have an elbow like this, and it's actually a breather line for the drive motors at the back. Excess oil comes up through this line, goes up through the guts of the swivel joint, and then goes back to the tank. Now they did away with it. They had a sensor mounted on here, and trouble is I thought, oh yeah, beauty, I'll just take that out and I'll put in the original part. But what they'd done, they'd actually machined it out and they got rid of the thread. So what I'm going to have to do now is modify this, and I've got to I'll just put this down because it weighs a bloody ton. Oh shit, fingers are caught in it. Alright, so this piece here, it'll swivel, and not that it'll turn much on the bottom anyway, but this piece here I have to tap it, and it'll be a 1/8 BSPT thread, and that came in the mail today. That's my tap and drill. So I'm going to do this on the lathe now, and I may have to machine up another piece to go up through the guts of it, but we'll put that on. Now I'll just give you a close-up of some of the stuff here. Okay, so this will be the control for the blade at the front of the excavator. So just push on that, pull back. That big hose there is a return to tank line. These valves are actually piggybacked to that one, so you've got a power line coming in from that one there. And I was able to use quite a few of my hoses, luckily, and otherwise it cost a fortune. Now if I didn't go the field fittings, it'd probably cost me another $1,000 for these 7 hoses that I need made up just in here. So I've got about 12 hoses to make, so I'm just waiting on the fittings to come, and we'll put it all together, and I'll push it out into the driveway and I'll start it up, and hopefully it'll be all right. Now I'll probably have a couple of these hoses in the wrong spot, I'm guessing, but I'll have to sort that out before I take it up to the farm. But alright, so what we'll do now is we'll sort out this problem on the lathe, and we'll put this swivel joint back in, and then I'll start connecting the hoses up. Got the job done, and the piece actually screws in there, so goes right in. So yeah. So all I've got to do now is machine up this end, and I'll be able to drop that into the swivel joint. Okay, this is what I've come up with. The one on the right was the original, and hang on, I don't know if you can see that. I couldn't use that one because it had a grub screw in it, and it would have caused a leak. So this one, it's been tapped for 1/8 BSP tapered, and I'll just put this in the swivel joint now, and we'll move on to the next job. Start working on this swivel joint. So what I did, I put all new fittings in the top here, so 7 of them, and they're all 9/16 JIC now instead of the Komatsu fittings. And the bottom, I machined up a new piece to go in here, so yeah, that'll mount back into the excavator like that, and that hose will go off to the drive motors. These are my field fittings, and I'll make up a hose now. I'll just show you how I make up one of these hoses. Now I went and bought a bunch of field fittings, they're called. They're pretty much just screw together. So this is your, that's a straight one. So what happens is you pretty much screw this bugger onto the hose counterclockwise, and then this part here screws down into it clockwise, and it expands inside the fitting there, and that's what holds it on. I reckon they're good for over 4,000 psi, and they're cheap to do. Like this hose I just made cost me about $35. If you were to buy that in the shop, you're looking at probably over 100. So when you've got a lot of hoses to make, it's quite good. The fitting place reckons you should use washing up detergent when you put the I think this part's called the ferrule on, and a lot of videos on YouTube they've been using axle grease. So I went back to grease on the inside and the washing up liquid on the outside, because it'll eventually work its way out, whereas the grease will probably stay there forever. Okay, so pretty much put that piece in the vise. Now you cut off your hose square, blow it out, make sure there's no shit in it, compressed air, and like that. Okay, so I've done a few of these hoses now, so I know the depth inside the thing is actually 29 millimeters. So if you look there, 28.97 or something like that. So what happens is you screw you mark on your hose where she's going to bottom out, and you screw him in till he bottoms out, and then you back it back half a turn just to allow for expansion of the hose and whatnot when you screw in that other piece. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is put this bugger, put some washing up liquid on the outside. Alright, so just starting it off without, there you go, she's in. Alright, so I'll screw that up now till it reaches the mark. I'll put on the hose, and I just give them a visual as well when I, okay, so that's going on alright. And when it bottoms out, you'll get resistance, and you know, getting close, getting hard. Going to China. Right, she's gone in. So I just give them a quick visual, and yep, she definitely bottomed out there. And so what I'll do is I'll put that in the vise again, and I'll back it out half a turn, so going clockwise this time, so that line will be on this side. So go around and just like that. Okay, now set him in the vise. It's great if you've got a vise, but you can do these out in the field, and but this makes it much easier. Now on the inside I use a bit of bearing grease any old grease will do, because the hoses are bloody oil and what's here resistant inside anyway. So this just makes it a lot easier to get it in there and do it all up. But, so you pretty much just bung him in there. Hang on, come on, go to Papa. Okay, so in she goes. You'll get it down quite a way, screwing it. Now I'll switch over to the spanner. So, round we go. Alright. Unhose. There you go. Alright. Okay, now I'm going to put all these hoses on, and she's getting close to starting actually, so yeah, it's going to be good. See if I can start up this engine now. I've pulled a hell of a lot of things off it. I'm just putting some fuel in it now, and we'll see how she goes. But okay, done a few things to the engine before I'm going to start it. Replace the gauze filter here and the fuel lines going to the injector pump, plus the main lines underneath, because I thought they'll be hard to get to later on. I took off the hydraulic pump because I want to run the engine for a bit and get all the issues sorted with that first before trying to have the hydraulics going at the same time. Now, yeah, I replaced the filter here. That was fairly cheap. It was a bit of a job trying to find the oil filter for this. I gave the part number and they sent me a totally different oil filter twice, and I ended up going to a auto place with the old filter, and I just matched it, and that one's actually off an old Tirana, Holden Tirana. So going around, yes, I flushed out the radiator, and lucky I did, because I thought I'd check the thermostat over here, and it was absolutely chock-a-block full. Like, this is the old water pump here, and if you look in the top there where my finger is, that was full of this white crystallized stuff. I'd say at some point they tried to use an engine flush in it, and they didn't run the engine because it was like this, the whole thing was blocked, and unfortunately I broke the pump getting it off the bloody engine. See that bit there? That's had an O-ring on it, and yeah, it snapped off unfortunately. But I picked up another pump for I think it was about 150 bucks. That's all the bloody stuff I've taken off it so far. There were heaps of things removed from the excavator. The more I work on it, the more I see it's been taken off. Like that alternator there, that's actually it's not standard, it's 24 volt, because I'll run in a 24 volt system. I've pulled a really good high pressure filter off it, that was also added on, and 2 batteries came out of it, all this electronic panels. So yeah, it got a new water pump, and there's a new alternator in there at the back you can't see. And I'll just come over here for a sec. So if you look in here, there's it's actually quite basic. I got hold of a manual, and that's pretty much all the electrics here. And I'm going to mount that in a box. And this excavator had no key, of course, but I was able to track down a master key, and I'll turn it on now. So I've got power, and you can actually hear the fuel pump running at the moment. So she's ready to go, I think. I may have to, hang on, I'll just turn this off. I may have to bleed it, of course, but you can see there's a hell of a lot missing here. All the linkages are gone. The 8 spill valve that was usually situated there, that's missing as well. I've got a whole set of new hydraulics that I have to connect up to this, and I've just drained out all the hydraulic oil, and she'll be ready to start in a second. I'd say I'll have to bleed it, but we'll just try it. So I'll put it on glow, so the glow plug's on, and then we'll go the other way. After nearly 20 years, it hasn't started. That's amazing. So what I'll do is I'll let this heat up and check it for leaks. That's purring. I've got the excavator finished. I've got a bit of a problem though. I hired this trailer and it didn't have any ramps, and I thought my car ramps would be high enough, but they weren't. But I bodged something up, and hopefully we won't tip the excavator over going over, but I thought I'd film it because it might be a bit hairy, I think. Alright, let's go. Worry, I tell you. Bloody dangerous. Okay. Well, it's on, and it won't be so hard at the property because there's an earth wall there, and I can just back the trailer up to the wall and drive it straight off.